Beautiful. Welcome, guys, on YouTube. We'll go here and do that. Okay, great. And going live on Facebook. Greetings, mighty companions. Greetings, mighty companions on watching on Facebook, also watching on YouTube, and also greetings, mighty companions here at the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center. Yay! All right. Woo! Yay for the Miracle Center. Hallelujah. Somewhere we can come in person to learn A Course in Miracles together. What a blessing. What a blessing. What a miracle. Yes, exactly. For all those folks who actually want that physical connection. So we are going to be in the teacher's manual, but I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to check in, to tune in, and just to feel the spirit. And just let go of our day, let go of the world, and just be like, oh, I'm here right now. Oh, I just realized I'm actually here right now, not somewhere else. So, what a radical thing to do. All right, so why don't you close your eyes and take a breath and just breathe. And just invite your mind to come back home to the present moment, right here, right now. And remind your mind that it is safe to rest. Let us tell our minds that it's safe to rest right here, right now, and that everything that we could need for peace, for healing, for joy, for inspiration is indeed right here, right now, waiting on us. And then let us do the holy instant practice that A Course in Miracles teaches us, where we say to Spirit, our higher self, this holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, Spirit. For I am certain that your direction, your guidance, your words will bring me peace. Spirit that we share, we give this healing circle to you. We ask that you be in charge of it and decide for us what we hear. And we've learned that every holy instant that we give to you, Spirit, is a moment that you multiply many times over, and you take these healing moments around this aching world to offer them to whoever would accept a miracle for them. And so we gladly give you these holy moments together, that we come together to be healed by truth together. We give these holy moments to you, Spirit, that you might take them round this aching world and bring them wherever they're needed. Thank you for this healing opportunity, Spirit. We recognize that it's you who has provided this opportunity to hear the words you speak and be healed by them. carry them around this aching world ourselves. Thank you for this opportunity to hear the words you speak and to give them to all the world as one with us. Thank you for this opportunity. Disciple healing for us and be you in charge. Beautiful. All right. And then when you're ready, bring your awareness back to the room, back to your body. Okay. Beautiful. Hi, Saki. Saki and all the children. Lovely to see you guys. Coming to us from Africa. Do you remember what part of Africa Saki is in?
Liberia.
So Saki and all the children in Liberia, sending our love. All right. So where we're going to be at today is in the teacher's manual, in the introduction to the teacher's manual. So, and there's books up here if you need it. I'm gonna go to teacher's manual. Okay. Does anybody need a book?
Actually, I think Saki's in Monrovia.
Oh, Monrovia. Okay, is that where you are, Saki, in Monrovia? Okay. All right. Okay, so the introduction to the teacher's manual is the first section in the teacher's manual before section number 1.
No, I think it is Liberia because
Okay.
he called himself before Miracle Park.
Oh, that's right, exactly. That's right. You're welcome, Saki. Okay, and then the other thing that I have is my purse and my chapstick. Let's see where my purse is.
Is it in the car?
Well, I guess it is. I guess it is in the car. All right.
I'm gonna go get her chapstick.
It's one of the most crucial aspects of my whole setup here.
And what a
to
loving,
be
loving
honest,
thing to go do, Greg.
I know,
That is
totally.
so nice, Greg.
You are so
And
sweet.
and I hope it's not like usual where he comes back and he's like, it wasn't in the car.
Oh,
And
and
I'm
your
like,
purse isn't in there.
and then I'm
either.
like, oh, sorry, it was right here. That happens all the time.
I bet you mine, but.
I have
Yes.
some great stuff.
I have
Just have to put it
something,
on your
I have a
finger.
little something in here that I can use, you know, but it's not like the real thing. It's like color, but anyway.
Glittery and
The trials and tribulations of a female Course in Miracles teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, Course in Miracles teacher who's pretending to be a female. Had you fooled, huh?
Just, you're just spirit,
Yes,
so-
you did. All right, guys. Okay, so teacher's manual, and this is the introduction. And I titled this section I titled this broadcast 2 things: How to Learn A Course in Miracles. And another title I gave it for YouTube was How to Learn Anything. How to learn something. Is there something that you really want to learn? This is a great section on how to learn A Course in Miracles and also how to learn anything. Okay, so very valuable. Course in Miracles says that living here is learning. That's what we're here for. If you're here, that's what you're here for. That's what you're here to do, to learn. Living here is learning. When you don't need to learn anymore, that you want love over fear and that only love is real. And when you don't need to learn anything, then you graduate from here. And you go somewhere, where people have, are beyond this level of learning. So he says, you're not going to be learning forever. Isn't that great? Whoever heard of that? I'm not going to be learning forever. Can you imagine, like, oh man, I'm so glad I finally learned that. And the Course in Miracles says that after you, thank you, honey, you're the best husband ever.
Out of
Thank
all
you.
6.
Julie,
Kidding.
Julie,
And that's-
Julie, can you? But I'm glad you didn't hear that. Oh, and you're
Oh,
handsome. Bless
He
you.
knows I
See that?
It was in the console.
It was in the console.
Yeah, but
Yes. Julie, I cannot believe that. That's all right.
Kidding.
I need to stop at 6. All right. Okay, so the Course in Miracles says that that when you when you're done with learning, then you go to creating. So that's the alternative. So you're not always just going to be learning, trial and error, trial and error. There, you'll come a time where you're just going to be creating. You're just going to be creating from the knowledge of who you are as a guiltless child of creation. And that's what's next after the learning, after you've learned. All right. So beautiful. Thank you, Becky. All right. Great. Now it's see the introduction. It says the role of teaching and learning is actually reversed in the thinking of the world. And this reversal is characteristic. Everything here is a reversal of reality. If you want to know what reality is, just look at the world and just flip it. Just reverse it. And then you got heaven, you got reality. Okay? This world as we know it is upside down backwards world. Right? So just is a little test. It says, it seems here in this world, it seems as if the teacher and the learner are separated, which means it seems here like the teacher is giving something to the learner rather to themselves. Okay? That's what it seems like here, that the teacher is giving something to the learner instead of the teacher giving something to themselves. Now, then it says, further, the act of teaching is regarded as a special activity. What's a special activity? As an activity in which one engages only a relatively small portion of one's time. So teaching is, just something you do when you walk into the classroom and say, I'm your teacher. Please take out your pens and paper. Now, it says the Course in Miracles, on the other hand, emphasizes that to teach is to learn. To teach is to learn. Oh, so that teacher and learner are the same. And the Course in Miracles also emphasizes that teaching is a constant process. What does that mean? That means that teaching goes on every moment of the day. And teaching continues into sleeping thoughts as well. That's what A Course in Miracles teaches about teaching. I'm teaching every moment of the day. Ooh, if I really accepted that, I might be a little more aware. I might be a little more conscious of what I'm demonstrating. And then it goes on to say that teaching is demonstrating. It has nothing to do with what you say, but it has everything to do with what you're demonstrating. And we're demonstrating and teaching everywhere we go, every moment of the day. Wow.
Yeah.
And continues into sleeping thoughts as well. I'm even teaching while I'm sleeping. Very interesting. And then it says in the next sentence, paragraph 2, sentence 1, to teach is to demonstrate. So it's what are you demonstrating? That's what you're teaching. Teaching has nothing to do with your words. Nothing to do with your words. Thank God. Because some of us our words are very, jumbly and awkward and don't know what to say, all the time. I don't know what to say. I did not know what to say. It doesn't matter if you don't know what to say, because teaching is not done just with words. Teaching is demonstration. To teach is to demonstrate. And guess what? There are only 2 thought systems, and you demonstrate that you believe one thought system or the other is true all the time. Wow, only 2 thought systems. Course in Miracles says only 2. It's not a bunch, there's only 2, and that's love or fear. Okay? Love or fear, guilt or innocence. And you believe that, what he said, and you're demonstrating that you believe one or the other is true all the time. Now, so I'm always teaching one thought system or the other all the time. Which one I believe. I'm always demonstrating which belief system I believe. I'm always teaching which thought system I believe is true all the time. Love or fear. And from your demonstration of which belief system you think is true, others learn. From your demonstration, others learn. And guess what? So do you. So people are not learning what I'm saying. They're not learning from what I'm saying. They're learning from what I'm demonstrating. And what I'm demonstrating is that I believe one thought system or the other is true. So that's what's really going on all the time. And from whatever it is I'm demonstrating to others, whatever it is I'm teaching to others, that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm learning. Not just them, but me too. So I'm always teaching and demonstrating for myself too. Okay? Interesting. So the question is not whether you will teach. That is not the question. Because in whether you teach or not, there is no choice. Okay, so when you're like, well, I don't want to be a Course in Miracles teacher, or I'm not a Course in Miracles teacher, or I'm not a teacher. I'm not a teacher of that. No, I'm just not. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are that. You are teaching, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. You are a teacher. You are teaching all the time. So you're more important than you think. You're having more of an impact than you realize. You are demonstrating and teaching all the time. So then it says the purpose of A Course in Miracles might be said to provide you with a means of choosing what you want to teach on the basis of what you want to learn. Okay, I love it. That's the purpose of the Course. That's pretty big. The purpose of the Course in Miracles is to what? Is to provide you with a means to choose what you want to teach based on what you want to learn. Okay, so A Course in Miracles is teaching us to always be asking the question, all right, what is it I want to learn today? What is it I want to learn in this situation? What is it I want to learn in this relationship? Do I want to learn how to be a better victim again? Do I want to learn how to be more angry? Do I want to learn how to be even more hurt than I was? Do I want to learn how to be more broke than I was? What do I want to learn here? It's interesting. We tend to think of situations like, what do I want to get out of this? What do I want to accomplish with this? What's my mission here? And it's saying you might want to ask a different kind of question. And that question is, what would I like to learn out of this? Do I want to learn that I'm safe? Do I want to learn that I'm innocent? Do I want to learn that I am supported? Do I want to learn that I'm free? What would I like to learn from this? And then based on that, that's how we decide what we want to demonstrate. Okay. Any questions or comments on that so far?
It helps us to be more of the witness mind, right?
Yes,
By asking that question.
exactly. It helps you to be more in the witness mindset, So before we react, we ask. Before we react, we ask ourselves a question. What would I like to learn in this situation myself? Okay. It's a great question to ask yourself before you speak, before you react, before you do anything, okay, in any situation.
I like how the author comes out and tells us something shocking. That we hear, for me to learn, I have to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for most of us, none of us look at ourselves as a teacher.
Right.
So, I'm not a teacher. And then if we do, we look at ourselves as a teacher in the class setting of the way the world does it.
The classic.
Oh, this is what a teacher looks like
Mm-hmm.
and, appears to be like. But then we hear, don't worry about how you need to be a teacher, that everybody is by design a teacher.
Absolutely.
We are all self-taught. We all teach ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's really cool that we can think, like picking a DVD movie to put in. What do I want to watch? What do I want to experience here? And that's what I think I want to learn, and I'm going to teach that to the world. I'm going to demonstrate that's what my belief system is going to be seen by everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, we typically think if I want to learn something, then I go and I study it and I study it and I
Yeah.
accumulate that knowledge or that understanding. Of course, in Miracles is saying if you want to learn something, you got to teach it. You got to teach it if you want to learn it. And we're like, well, no, I can't teach it because, I haven't mastered it yet. I haven't learned it yet. Well, actually, the way that you do that is to start. And that's something that I had to learn as a beginning a new Course in Miracles teacher. And, I've shared with many others, if you want to learn a Course in Miracles, teach it. Teaching a Course in Miracles doesn't mean I've mastered it. I've been studying it for 20 years. It means I really, really want to get it. That's what it means. So it means I really want to get it. And whether you teach it in a formal way, like I'm doing, or you teach it to, whoever you're having a holy encounter with, whoever you encounter through the day. Teaching it, sharing it is how you learn it. So it's a very different format for teaching.
Or to demonstrate it.
Yes, or to demonstrate it.
So when that seemingly disaster comes up this week, and everybody's freaking out, and you're remembering, I don't need to change anything. I don't
need to fix
I
anything.
just need to look for the good and the beautiful and the holy out of this. And so now you're demonstrating a new thought system that everybody else that's freaking out hasn't learned.
Yes.
So you're teaching yourself, because it's hard for yourself to believe what you're putting out there. This is good somehow. This is helpful somehow. Okay, I'm trusting you, Spirit.
I think you could also interchange the word living. Teaching.
Yes, demonstrating,
Yeah,
living,
Right.
living it.
Yeah.
I like
Totally,
that.
very
I like
good.
that.
Yes.
What about influencing?
I think that what I hear it saying is that by demonstrating it or living it, you are automatically influencing.
Right.
You are automatically influencing. Yes. And I love that, because it takes all of the pressure off of us as teachers or healers or whatever we call ourselves. If you've taken on the role as helper, like I would like to be helpful to humanity, you have accepted the role of teacher or healer. And I love it in this that you don't have to figure out what to do. People are like, well, I don't like public speaking because I don't have to figure out what to say, or I don't want to put myself in that role because I don't want to have to figure out what to say. And this is reminding us that teaching has nothing to do with what you say. It's about, what do I want to live? What do I want to be? What do I want to demonstrate in this situation based on what do I want to learn? What do I want to learn? Do I want to learn that I'm safe? Do I want to learn that I'm innocent? Do I want to learn that I'm abundant? What do I want to learn? So it takes all the guesswork and all the analyzation and the figuring out. It takes all of that out of the teaching experience.
It's like
For healing.
It's like our government. We don't learn from them by what they say to us.
That's
We learn by what they do.
That's
do, what they demonstrate.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And I think the other thing, all through the years of school, the teacher teaches us.
That's
We
right.
take the test.
Mhm.
Well, gee, I missed 5. I didn't learn it.
Mhm.
And you don't even think you learned the subject well because
Right.
you ace it.
Right.
So it's kind of weird. I mean, you're like, oh. I
Yeah,
don't
the
have to-
teaching, the way teaching is done in the world has nothing to do with real teaching.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really, as the Course in Miracles teaches it, the teacher is the one who says, I don't know this, but I would like to learn it better. And that's why I'm going to share it with you. But just because I'm the one sharing with you doesn't mean that I'm on a higher level of knowledge than you. Actually, teacher and student are on the same level of learning.
Which we've never been taught.
We've
that.
never heard that. Teacher and student are on the same
They
level
always
of
know everything
learning.
Teaching the subject.
Exactly.
And if I need to learn trust and you need to learn trust, the likelihood is we're gonna come into a situation together where we need to both trust spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of us has mastered or learned it,
Yes.
but now the opportunity has come for us to learn it. Oh, look, we trusted and look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
It
Yes.
worked out the way it works when you trust in the truth.
Exactly.
The truth validated itself, but now our faith has grown because we learned together how to trust it more.
Yes.
And I think too, like children are learning
Yes.
as we're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And like, especially now where we're out encountering a lot of service people in the stores, for example, they have to deal with a lot all the time. If we greet them with kindness, we've noticed that they're lifted
Yes.
and they then return the kindness. So it's a reciprocal learning.
Giving and
teaching.
receiving.
That's right.
Giving and receiving.
Giving and
Same
receiving
and
are
true.
the same.
Yeah, a little kindness in that case, they have been over backwards. Oh, come with me, I'll show you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
I'll
got-
show you where the
we've gotten
special
free
place,
stuff.
the special
Yeah.
storehouse
Yeah.
is. Exactly.
Here, let me mark
Exactly.
that down for you.
Well, the word that comes to me is reverberation as you were talking,
Mhm.
because I messed that and they're nice back to me and I'm like, ooh, that energizes me. And then it's just reverberating between the two of us.
Yes, exactly. Like you were saying, impacting. It's it reverberates, it has an effect. The court was, of course, say that that every thought, every idea has some effect at some level. Every idea has an influence. Every idea has an influence. And every one of our ideas is demonstrating which thought system that we believe. Every thought we have is demonstrating, is teaching what thought system that we are believing in. So we're always demonstrating, we're always teaching. And when you remember that, for me, when I remember that, it makes me want to be much less tolerant of mind wandering. It makes me want to pay attention to my thoughts more than I've learned how to do. None of us learned how to pay attention to your thoughts. We're always paying attention to something else. What they're doing. What are they doing? Did you see what they're doing? Oh my God, look at what they're doing. Can you believe what they're doing? That's what we've learned to pay attention to, not what I'm thinking, which is and what I'm thinking is what I'm teaching, what I'm demonstrating, how I'm impacting and influencing people, having no idea that every thought I have is having an effect, on, countless people. Wow. Yeah, we don't know the power of our thoughts. We don't realize that we're teaching all the time. Now, it says, the purpose of A Course in Miracles might be said to provide you with a means of choosing what you want to teach on the basis of what you want to learn. You cannot give to someone else, only to yourself. Then a deep, you cannot give to someone else.
That's why I said we're self-taught.
Exactly. You cannot give to someone else. You cannot teach someone else. You cannot give to someone else, but only to yourself. And this is what you learn through teaching. I thought I was giving to them, but I realized I was the one who needed that. That happens all the time. You hear that all the time with people who give, you hear that from them all the time. I gave that advice to them. I gave that money to them. I gave that support to them. I gave that love to them. Well, I was the one who needed it. I gave that release from guilt to them, but I was really the one who needed it. So really, they're the ones who saved me. You hear that all the time from people who give, all the time. You cannot give to someone else, but only to yourself. And this you learn through teaching. And so here's what teaching is. Teaching is but a call to witnesses to attest to what you believe. Teaching, in that case, is a method of conversion. Now, teaching is not done by words alone. And that's why any situation or relationship must be to you a chance to teach others what you are and what they are to you. No more than that, but also never less. Wow. Every situation or relationship is a situation, every situation or relationship must be to you a chance to teach others what you are and what they are to you. That's what every situation, and to do something here.
And I'm with you, Julie. I don't either. Because you get to the point you realize by judging it what the effect of that teaching is.
Because I don't know
And I don't
anything
want
about
to
that
teach.
person.
I don't
what's
want to teach
happening.
myself
I
that.
don't
Yes.
like it necessarily, but doesn't mean I have to judge it. I mean, you may or may not like it. I can't help but think that, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not. Turn it to spirit. You're not the corrector of other people.
Mm-mm.
I know best.
But you know,
That's
my
And
thought,
they're really
But I'm
just.
what?
my thought was, you know, when you mentioned that woman that hated everybody, I thought, well, that poor woman.
I know.
I know.
Imagine
Feel
how
good
imagine
for
what her
you.
life is like.
Really weird.
Right,
You
and
know.
it's all that hate being reflected
Yes.
right back at her.
And then she wonders
Hate
why
everybody.
she always seems to be taken advantage of, you know. She literally said, you know, she goes, yeah, I'm taken advantage of all the time.
What?
You know, she was like, we were like,
Really?
you know, exactly. And so she doesn't realize that every situation, event, or encounter is an opportunity to teach what she is and what others are to her. She didn't realize that every encounter was an opportunity to teach herself that she's lovable and that she's loving and that she's innocent, you know. And we keep waiting for the world to give that to us.
Exactly, yeah.
We keep waiting, like we walk into a place like, hello, I'm here. You gonna treat me well? You gonna treat me nice? Right? Hello, you know, not realizing that every situation is an opportunity for us to give what we want to experience.
And then there's always another way of looking at the situation.
There's always,
I go back to that a
there's-
lot. Well, you've taught over,
Yeah.
you've told us, but
that's
to
right.
look at it differently.
That's right, because there's no situation or relationship that you can't choose to love in.
Exactly.
There's not a one. You cannot make a situation where you can't say, what would love say? What would love do? What does this look like to love? What would love do? What would love say? How can I be loving here? How can I add some love? There's nothing that you can't do that in. There's no situation that you can't teach love over fear. Nothing. You know, and so there's no situation that you can't be a very powerful teacher in, and there's no situation that you cannot learn from. There's no situation that you could not learn something good from. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. And that's what it means with there's no order of difficulty in miracles. There's no order of difficulty in miracles. One's not harder or bigger than the other because there's no situation that I cannot choose to teach or demonstrate love in so that I can learn it once and for all.
There's also a line in the text, and I can't tell you where, but it's asking to see the world that Christ, how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly how it goes, but help me to see this in the way that you would see it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Holy Spirit.
Yes, absolutely. And then there's no miracle that you can't do when you ask that question. That's what it really means to teach. You know, I'm only here to be truly helpful. Love, what would you have me say and do here? You know, how would you have me look upon this love?
I need that
I'm
reminder.
I'm only here to be truly helpful. That is the formula for demonstrating miracles, which means teaching miracles. That's the formula. I'm only here to be truly helpful. Love, what would you have me say? What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? Right. Beautiful.
So
Okay.
back to the,
Okay, back to
I
the,
can hear it, I can intellectualize it, like the woman that hates everyone.
yes,
And we can, I mean, the news has just been horrible.
yes,
And
as usual.
the fellow that, well, anyway, murder.
Okay, yes.
Murder
So
stuff.
bombing, the horrible things the Russians, you know, when they go to a town and they're torturing Ukrainians and killing. Help me, please, see, okay, love what, how.
Yes, okay, so you're saying you're watching the news, you're watching the news, and all you see is a bunch of murder, as
Hateful,
always.
hateful,
If it bleeds, it leads. And so you're saying, how can I, are you asking the question, okay, so in this situation, what I hear it saying, and then you guys tell me what else you guys hear. What I hear it saying is that when you're watching the news and you just see a bunch of murder, you want to ask yourself, what is it that I would like to learn out of this? What is it I would like to learn? Do I want to learn like that lady in the nail salon who said, I hate everybody, I hate all of humanity, everybody's a-hole, you know? Or what do you want to learn? Ask yourself, what do I want to learn from this? Do I want to learn that I'm not a body and I cannot die? Do I want to learn that there is no death? Do I want to learn that,
What's the evidence I'm gathering?
yeah, exactly. What's the evidence I'm gathering? What do I want to learn here? Do I want to learn that hate is real and more powerful than love? You know, what do I want to learn here? So let me ask you that question. What would you like to learn from that, you know, from that situation?
That's a tough one.
You know, when you're watching the news and it's just murder, 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 murder. Because, yeah, that's pretty much the news.
So it puts me in fear, and I think,
What would you like to learn? Would you like to learn death and fear, or would you like to learn
peace and love.
peace
I'd
and
rather
love?
learn peace
All
and
right,
love.
beautiful. Okay, beautiful. So
And
then,
safety.
right, and safety. Safety, that's my big one. I would really like to learn I'm safe. You know, no matter what's going on, no matter what's going on, I'd like to learn that I'm safe. I know there's some people in Ukraine and Russia who would like to learn that they are safe no matter what. So then you might say, Spirit, show me how to look at what I'm seeing here through the eyes of love and truth. Help me to see this and learn from you that there is a way to experience safety and peace no matter what's going on.
Because part of our learning is the awareness that we, of our own accord right now, are not able to see that we need help.
Yes, exactly.
That's part of the healing, is just the awareness that I need help.
Exactly.
And so when that struggle comes up that I can't see love in this, all I can see is hate, and I don't want to learn hate.
Mm-hmm.
Help me, Spirit, see love. And Spirit then goes, thank you for remembering that you need help. That's a miracle. You remembered that.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
And you'll get that help. You really will. Because
Oh yeah.
unless you want to hold on to the grievance more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And what Julie said is, I want to,
Look at this
How'd you
another
say it?
way.
what's
How
that?
can I look at
Look
this
at it
another
another
way?
way.
I'd like to see this another way.
You said you don't want to learn that way anymore, something like
No.
that. And I'm with
Yeah.
you. I'm tired of those effects, that
Mhm.
light that
Yeah.
that effect gives me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the effects that this new way of trusting and learning works.
Mm-hmm.
I can't explain how it does it all, but I do know it works. So,
Yes.
and I just keep trying to learn that way.
Mm-hmm.
When I have an opportunity that's hard, it's struggling, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like right now. We all have our right nows we're dealing with.
Exactly. And so that's one way that you're being called upon to teach right now.
Yourself.
You know, you're being called to teach through, you watching the news, feeling that feeling and asking yourself, what do I want to learn? I want to learn peace and safety. And as you ask spirit how to learn peace and safety, even when you're looking on destruction, then you're teaching that as you're learning it. You're teaching it automatic. Teaching and learning are simultaneous. So as you learn how to see only love, even when you're looking on scenes of devastation, you're also simultaneously sharing that idea with the world. And what is more valuable in the world than that today? How to see love and peace and safety, even when you're looking out on a battleground,
I think we get
which
mixed
Earth
up.
seems to have become.
Because she's kind of been, she's saying, well, I want an answer. How can I stop this? Well, that may not be in you're not gonna be able to stop it, but you can, what's going on there, because you don't know all the background or anything, you can say, well, help me to prevent it. I guess,
Or
in
how to see it correctly.
yeah. and that's
Remember
what's so
how
hard,
the Course in
because-
Miracles says,
It is
don't
so-
ask for the healing of the body.
Exactly.
Don't say,
Or to
please
Yeah.
heal the
The mind.
Ukraine-Russian war.
Or to be different.
This has me confused because
It's
we're
tough.
in a
Mhm.
dream, and is
Yes.
it callous of me to think
This is,
I want to learn to see outside the dream, or am I being?
No, what we're learning here, what we want to learn and teach here is how to see everything here through the eyes of love. Of Course in Miracles comes the eyes of Christ, forgiving eyes. And the Course in Miracles also calls that vision. And so the Course in Miracles tells us that there's no scene on the battlefield, the slain, dying, all the scenes that you see on a battleground. There's a way of looking upon all the scenes on the battleground with such vision that it transforms the battleground into the most beautiful scene you ever saw in your life, the most beautiful thing you ever
Trade
saw.
your thorns for lilies.
And it comes,
Change what?
Trade your thorns
Thorns.
for lilies.
and it's not about doing what some of us on the spiritual path think that this is the way you do it. La 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 la. I don't look at things like that. I don't listen to that. I don't look at the news. I don't la 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 la. It's not about not looking at the world that we have collectively made together. The Course in Miracles says it's all about looking upon it with vision, with the understanding of spirit, with the knowledge of love, with the knowledge of God, right? And as you look upon it with vision, it's like saying, love, look upon this for me. Love, look upon this with me. Love, how does this look to you? I can barely look at it without turning away, but how does it look to you? And the Course in Miracles is telling us that everything looked upon with vision is transformed. And so it's not about being in denial, la 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 la, that's negative, oh, that's negative, la la, I don't listen to that, that's negative. I don't watch the news, that's negative. That's fine if that's what you do. I'm just saying it's not about being in denial, hiding your eyes, stopping your ears. It's about going, Spirit, how do you see this? How does this look to your eyes? What would you have me see here? Which is the same thing as looking at it and going, what would I like to learn here? I'd like to learn that we're not separate, we're not different, and we don't need to be at war with each other. That's what I'd like to learn, or whatever it is.
So you're feeling for the person.
Yes, it's exactly.
But you're not necessarily buying into their
Right.
cause.
Their fear. No,
Right.
fear. There's another word too that work. Lots of words that probably work better than just even fear, but they're in it for real. I mean.
Oh, absolutely.
they're
We're
in it
not
for
saying
real.
we're not
But
saying they're not
I'm
suffering.
Yeah.
But
But we're also saying that that's really not what's going on.
yes, there's something else that's going
There's
on,
something
and
else.
we'd like to see what that is.
And we'd like to see what that is.
And
Exactly.
both sides of the Ukraine story, the example that was brought up, it would be like saying, in my wisdom, my limited wisdom because of my sleep that I've slumbered into, I'm wise enough to tell you that what that person in Ukraine has come to learn, that I deserve punishment, blah, 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 that I don't want this process to happen because then they'll learn what they need to learn.
Yeah, don't
And the
deny them their
person
learning.
on the Putin side of the deal, or whatever, the other ones we're judging to be that way, we're saying that I know how best for them to learn what they've come to learn, and it's not this way. I'm creator, I know best. When creator's like, no,
No, you
I'm
don't.
doing it the fast way, and what
Mhm.
both sides need to learn, they've come to meet each other, to have the opportunity to
Mhm.
learn what they need to learn,
Mhm.
as I creator see it fit to happen. And we're over here trying to judge whether creator's doing this whole learning process and the evil dream, to
Mhm.
turn it to the happy dream, to turn it to the full conscience awakening.
Mhm.
And that's a process. And that process starts with even becoming aware that you need to learn something, and both
Yes.
sides of the story are both learning. They
Mhm.
And
both
so you
are
think
equally
too, Greg?
learning.
Yes.
And our job is to trust in creator's process of that for everyone else, but more importantly for us. Now, what am I learning out of this? I'm horrified by this, so I'm part of the story now, because
Mhm.
horrified is not truth.
Mhm.
And so what is the truth there? I have something to learn myself out of this.
Very good.
And so look at all the people globally being drawn in for the opportunity to learn something out of the demonstration of both sides.
Mhm.
Very deep learning stuff.
Exactly.
Deep, not your everyday surface learning.
Absolutely. And, instead of, like you're saying, instead of being focused on what are they learning, the question is, what do I want to learn?
Yeah.
What do I want to learn when I look at the war situation or any number of horrors that you see when you're looking at what's going on? What do I want to learn from this? And that's instead of like, what should I do about this situation? What needs to be done about this situation? Oh crap, now I feel helpless because little old me against this big, big, massive problem. Now it's manageable. What do I want to learn from this? I want to learn, that there is no separation, that there is no sin and guilt, and that war doesn't work. I want to learn that war is not the answer, that war doesn't work. I want to, so that's what we want to ask ourselves. And then that automatically sets it up that now we are demonstrating that very thing. Even if we don't seem to have any contact or connection with that problem, we're still demonstrating the answer. We're still demonstrating the miracle. Even if we're over here and it seems to be happening over there and it seems like we don't have any connection, but because we're one, we do have an influence. We are connected. We do have an influence. So just remembering the truth about it is influencing that situation for the better, for the good. Okay.
And Putin or whoever hasn't learned perhaps that what I do to somebody else, I'm doing to myself.
That's right.
And
Mm-hmm.
so
And neither has
I
Zelensky.
can look at it as, boy, I'm glad that I feel like I'm learning that lesson. He's in that school of learning right now. I'm glad I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's those that have learned more than me that are glad they're not where I am.
That's for sure. Exactly.
But they're
Exactly.
thankful that I'm learning.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, at least they're getting the opportunity to learn.
Exactly.
And I
We're
think it
brothers.
applies the same to the mass murder shootings we've had, like
Yeah.
7 and 11 days.
Yes.
It's still the guy's crazy or the person, but no, it goes way back to the mental,
Yes.
the way the person was brought up. Wewe're not addressing or
Of
teaching
course,
our
of
children
course.
or
And,
know.
great lesson, like, Greg was saying, what I want to learn here is that what I do to others, I'm doing to myself. I want to get that. What I'm doing to others, I'm doing to myself. So, that's another, it's just so many wonderful things, valuable lessons. All of the good lessons you can learn out of any one particular horrific disaster. I want to learn that all I give is given to myself. I want to learn that we're not separate. I want to learn that we're safe and innocent. I want to learn that, as we join, we all get what we need. You can learn all the good lessons out of any terrible seeming situation. If that's your purpose, what do you want to learn? It didn't say, there's only so much you can learn from any situation. It just said to say, what do I want to learn from this? And then let that determine what you demonstrate, what you do, what you choose. And there's no limit on what you can learn out of it. You could learn, I'm so glad we're not our bodies. I'm so glad that those people who seem to die were not their bodies. Hallelujah.
Right.
That's what I want to learn. I want to learn I'm not my body, and I want to learn my family and friends are not their bodies. So what I'm hearing is that it's teaching us what question to ask yourself in any situation, such that you can demonstrate and teach something good and loving and helpful and repairing in any situation you find yourself looking at or in. There's a way to look at it. There's a question to ask yourself that will enable you to give something, to demonstrate something loving and helpful and really involved.
Because if you don't see it that way, you're not learning.
If you don't see it that way, you're not learning. And you don't see it that way until you ask yourself, what do I want to learn? Instead of saying, well, what can I do about this? What can I do about this? Oh my God, I feel so helpless because it's so big and I'm so little. What can I do? I'm just one person. So instead of asking, what can I do about it? Ask yourself, what do I want to learn from this? And Spirit, please help me to see this through your eyes. Okay. And then that enables you to truly have a positive effect. Even if you don't know how you did it, even if you don't know how you had a positive effect on ending that war or ending, mass shootings. Okay, beautiful. How are we doing? So it's 1:30. I mean, wow, it's 1:30. That was a whole hour.
But we don't, like last week, we ended up we went over and had to race to get out of here.
Yeah.
Today we don't have to.
Yes, well,
So we
I'm
can
okay with
relax.
going longer if you
Yes.
guys are.
Yes, please.
Oh, but we do have a board meeting at 2, so we can go.
We do?
No, we
Not
don't.
today.
Oh, not today. Oh,
Was that
wonderful.
last? No, it was a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, okay, well, we can go a few minutes longer then.
Yes.
Wow, it's so wonderful to be in the room with some truth junkies.
Yes.
Usually people are like,
We're all kind of children.
is it over yet? Wake me when it's over.
Well,
No.
since we have a minute,
Not you guys, of
I
course.
would like to
Yes.
share that the homeless thing has really been giving me trouble psychologically. And so recently a new prayer came to me
Okay.
in looking at people on the corner and the homeless here and there and whatever I see. And the new prayer is, thank you, Holy Spirit,
Mm-hmm,
for I know that no matter how it looks,
mm-hmm,
no matter what it seems, no matter what the circumstances may be on the exterior, I know that you are here
mm,
doing what needs to be done. And I thank you if I can be a part of it.
beautiful.
And it
Absolutely.
gives
That's
me-
vision.
Gives me a chance to hand little cereal bars out the door.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I have a blanket or a pair of
Yes.
socks, whatever they need.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly it gives my heart whatever my heart craves, I guess.
Absolutely. That's really beautiful demonstration. of how to take this idea and apply it to the growing homelessness issue that you see around you. That enables you to look on this and not be overwhelmed with that feeling of helplessness. Like, what can I do? So as you saw it more, as you prayed for that correct perception, then you said that it made you even more able to give what they needed when you were able to have to feel like you were, making a positive impact. Beautiful, beautiful
And by
demonstration.
you saying, and if I can be a part of it, that would be great. It sounds like you're saying our banner prayer, what would you have me do?
Mhm.
To whom would you have me say it to and to when?
Yeah,
It just sounds like you're keeping in theme with that, and that's beautiful. So
exactly.
thy will be done.
It feels really good.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it
And
does.
that's
It
real
really does.
teaching, according to what A Course in
That's
Miracles
good
is teaching us.
demonstration.
That's real demonstration.
Lead
What
me.
did you do? I
That's what
missed-
real demonstration is.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and so that prayer is that whenever you are uncertain about what to do, to say to Spirit, Spirit, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? Okay, and that is, like Greg said, our the miracle workers banner prayer, or
Yeah,
a motto. What would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom? And that guarantees that you are going to be guided in your actions, in your vision, and in your words. That guarantees that you will always be being guided because you are asking for that. You can't ask for that and not be answered. That's impossible. That's impossible because Spirit and all the guides and teachers were created specifically
to answer that.
to answer that prayer. So you can't say that prayer and not be answered. Now, you may not recognize the answer in the moment because you still got a little hidden script back there that you had that you're a little unaware of. That's the only reason why you wouldn't hear Spirit's answer, guiding you, guiding your sight, guiding your words, guiding your actions, guiding your thoughts.
The only reason you wouldn't hear it is because what?
Because you had a hidden script back there. There's some you said I want your answer, but you had a hidden. But I really want my own.
You're still listening to your own
You
plan.
you have a little secret
it's-
hidden plan back there that you're not aware of.
That if I was God, there wouldn't be any homeless.
Right, exactly.
And really,
Yes.
really, we're showing up and we're not thinking that way anymore. We're thinking because there's a God, He allowed homelessness for this person to learn that
Exactly.
they're
Yeah.
not alone.
Exactly.
Because they believe they're alone, they don't believe they don't deserve anything,
Mhm.
they believe they deserve punishment, they don't need help. And then you show up
Mhm.
to answer that with truth, which is you're not alone. You do deserve help.
Mhm.
You do deserve to be loved.
Mhm.
And I'm here to demonstrate that. I'm teaching, I'm trying to learn at an even greater level, but I'm still trying to learn like you are.
Mhm.
And so let's help each other learn that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, there aren't enough Trudys or us. So I'm thinking all those Ukrainians, and I heard a horrible story about how bad it is in Afghanistan. You don't believe.
Another
So your
opportunity.
point being that.
They're not learning. They're not sitting here
Mhm.
hearing this. So what they're learning is that that's their truth,
Mhm.
the suffering.
No, you don't see it with your eyes what they're learning, but they are learning even though they may not realize they're learning it, they are learning the cost of the belief in separation and sin.
Well, they're experiencing
They are,
it.
exactly. That's how you learn the cost of separation and sin and guilt. And so you may not see that they're learning it, but ultimately they are learning, oh, this is the cost of the belief in separation and sin. Oh, war, devastation, death, disease. Oh, okay. You don't recognize what they're learning, and what they're learning, that's not the point. The point is that you would learn what you're to be learning, and just by your learning it, you are automatically transmitting it. Even though you do not see the transmission going from your own understanding all the way across the world. You don't see that, but that's okay, you know. But that's the point, not what they're learning. And if they don't seem to be learning it, then we're not doing our job. You know, just that you would learn it, that you would accept the truth for yourself, and then knowing that it automatically goes forth, you know, to who needs that.
An example I have to share it on because it keeps coming to mind is when Jesus was being crucified, he said, "Father, forgive them what? For they haven't learned." He said, "Forgive them, for they do not know what they do." They're just like Putin. They're having to learn what I do to another, I do to myself. And 30 whatever years later, Jerusalem was completely destroyed. Not by a God that came back and goes, "You destroyed my son, and I'm going to destroy you." No, they haven't learned the law of the universe. As I do unto creation, I do unto myself. And Father, forgive them, for they have not learned. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know that within this generation, there will not be one stone left upon another, because we are doing this to ourselves, because we believe we deserve punishment. And we haven't learned that yet, but through all these cycles, we learn, and then we come to a place. We might have been those people back then, and here we are, we finally are getting it, that, oh, we don't want those effects, that influence. We're tired of these influences we're giving to ourselves by doing this to ourselves. We're going to stop crucifying others, so we'll stop crucifying ourselves. Oh, 2,000 years later, I'm getting it. Okay. You know, it doesn't matter how long it takes us to learn what we come to learn, to wake ourselves up out of the slumber that we're in. We have all eternity, but
And
we're
it's
learning it.
evolutionary, and I believe too that as you add or we add to our learning, that adds to their, maybe it seems to us like a small
Yeah.
step in evolution,
Right.
but it might be huge
Yeah,
to them. And so for me to judge someone who's in a despicable, what looks to be in a despicable situation, it seems to me that I'm almost playing God in a way, because that's where they are right now.
yeah,
They need to be there right now. We know they're never not gonna be stuck. Everyone is always evolving. So blessing or learning adds to their progression in evolution.
Their speed.
Their speed.
Yes, every little bit that we do adds to the speed at which they go, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. There is a infinitely loving and infinitely powerful force within me, called whatever you want to call that, call it God or spirit or whatever. And it's unlimited in its ability to help me to be safe, happy, abundant, even in this situation. I'm going to call on it, and then miracles. You know,
Never be forsaken.
exactly.
Never
Where,
be
no
what?
matter what, never be forsaken. All right. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna do paragraph 3, and then we'll probably stop there. It says the curriculum that we set up is therefore determined exclusively by what we think we are and what we believe the relationship of others is to us. In the formal teaching situation, these questions may be totally unrelated to what you think you are teaching. Yet it is impossible not to use the content of any situation or relationship on behalf of what you really teach, and therefore really learn. To this, what you're teaching, the verbal content of your teaching is quite irrelevant. The verbal content of your teaching may coincide with what you're teaching, or it may not. It is the teaching underlying what you say that's teaching you. In other words, teaching only reinforces what you believe about yourself. Teaching's fundamental purpose is to diminish self-doubt. Now, this doesn't mean that the self you are trying to protect is real, but it does mean that the self you think is real is what you teach.
I love that.
That the fundamental purpose is to diminish self-doubt.
Well, in her story of like giving a blanket to somebody
Homeless.
homeless, what you're really saying is if I was cold, I would deserve a blanket.
Yes, that's
Say
what
that
you're,
again.
If I was cold, I would deserve a blanket.
that's right. That's what you're
I
teaching.
deserve to be
Yes.
I
warm.
like that.
I
Mhm.
deserve to be comforted.
Exactly.
I deserve to be loved.
Yes, if
Yes.
I was homeless, I would deserve somebody to offer me what I needed in that moment.
And you would.
Exactly. And bye, sweetie. When you every time we demonstrate, every time we give something loving, we think something loving, demonstrate something loving, what we're teaching ourselves is, I deserve this. If I'm hungry, I deserve food.
Mhm.
If I'm cold, I deserve a blanket. If I'm, if I'm mistaken, if I've deceived myself, I deserve loving correction.
Or we just demonstrate what? If I see myself hungry, I wouldn't deserve to eat.
Exactly. Exactly. So really, we're taking care of ourselves. We're setting it up where, number one, they get what they need in the moment, but we're also teaching ourselves that I also deserve this. You're not going to believe, you will not believe you deserve to what you need. Okay, shh, 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 girls,
Ladies.
shh, guys. Shh. You will not believe that you deserve to be helped unless you have also been helpful to others when they are in need. So really, we're teaching ourselves, I deserve help. I deserve love when I need it. But until I've given it, I don't believe that I deserve it.
So I think I've created a situation. I have this little girl inside, and she, I think, wanted some extra attention. And so that's why I'm having the eye operation on Wednesday,
Mhm.
because I think she wanted to be taken care of.
Mm.
And something external needed to prove to her that she gets
Mm.
to
Does
be
she,
taken
does
care
she
of when
deserve
she's
that?
in trouble.
Very good.
Even maybe if she's not in trouble, she gets to be taken care
Very
of.
good.
So she and I have been doing a little journaling, and it's really interesting what comes out. I just let my fingers do the typing, and
Mhm.
sometimes I can't even read it, but I know what's being
Mhm.
printed.
Yeah.
And I have kind of struck a deal with her that
Mm.
she will reach out to me
Mhm.
and let me be there for her, because I have a tendency to kind of forget her,
Mhm.
and that's not a good thing with her.
That's right.
So hopefully this will be our last operation.
Yes.
But at the same time, now I'm hearing you speak about, I'm reaching out to the homeless and talking with them and
Giving
loving
to them. Mhm.
and maybe this is the way
Mhm.
that I'm taught.
Yes. This is
that
the way you're teaching yourself that
deserving.
you deserve support and help when you need it.
Right, so it almost feels better now that you've said that, thank you.
You're welcome. Beautiful. Thanks for seeing that. And so, the Course in Miracles says the only thing missing in any situation is what you haven't given. So you want to look for, like, where is it that I'm like, so-and-so is depriving me of this, or I'm feeling deprived. You can look at that and go, yeah, oh, that's where I haven't been giving. I haven't been giving in that area of life. And the only area that you feel deprived, the only area where you're going to feel like there's a lack or you're being deprived of something unjustly is where you haven't been giving to others. So you've been teaching deprivation, not realizing it, and then surprised when now you feel deprived. And so instead of going, how did this deprivation happen? Who did this to me? And how can I change it? We want to say, well, where is it that I haven't been being generous? Where is it I haven't been forgiving? Where is it I haven't been compassionate? Where is it I haven't been being tolerant? And then be tolerant, be generous, give love, be generous, whatever. And then you'll be shocked and amazed that the next thing you know is in that area of life, you are now receiving what you wanted and needed. Because now you feel like you deserve it because you demonstrated it, you gave it, you taught it. And so now you're like, oh, I guess that means I deserve it too.
We talked to that lady a few nights ago, and she told us that for the past 10 months, it's really been bad going out socially because nobody talks to her.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, well, when you go out the last 10 months, have you been talking to others?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, no. We
Yeah.
said, well, so they're doing to you what you're doing to them.
Mhm.
You're not talking to them.
Right.
And you're mad that the public's not engaging and talking to you. He
Yes.
says, but I'm shy. And I said, well,
So are they.
so are they. They're like you.
Exactly.
And so you're upset with them for being you.
Yes.
So somebody needs to break the
I'm
egg
mad
there.
at you for being like me.
Yeah.
And so if you would change,
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's what we do. All right, guys, wonderful discussion. Really, thanks for all of you sharing your thoughts. It's so exciting when the section inspires a lot of conversation. It's wonderful. So, okay, guys. So what we're going to do is now we're just going to do love offering announcements, and then we'll just do a couple minute integration meditation.
All right.
All right. So since you guys can just do your love offering in the basket before you go, so
I think
we don't have to pass it around. All right. And then announcements are in the description of this video is mine and Greg's class schedule. But every Monday I do an in-person class here at the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center, and that's practical and healing applications of A Course in Miracles every Monday, Miracle Center, and on Facebook. And also, I think I'm going to try to keep doing live streaming on YouTube as well. Also, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Sundays, Greg and I do a Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles on Facebook. I'm also going to try to do that on YouTube as well, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And Tuesday, Greg and I have started a new class called Silver Miracles and Golden Dreams about how to experience financial security in weird times like these. And that's on Tuesdays, and that says abundance principles and what we're learning about the world of real money and fake money and all that. And so that's Tuesdays, Facebook, hopefully YouTube as well, 7 p.m. So that's what's going on. And if you want to hear more about my holistic counseling practice, Miracle Psychotherapeutics, go to my website, annakujawa.com, and learn about my holistic counseling program. Love you guys. All right. So now we're going to do a couple minutes of integration meditation where we're just going to take the ideas and use them. All right. So if you haven't already, just close your eyes and take a breath and just feel what these ideas feel like as you're listening to them in a circle of mighty companions who also want to use the truth to heal their minds and their lives. bring to your awareness a situation, event, or encounter or relationship that for you is not peaceful. I want you to bring to your awareness that situation, relationship, event, or encounter that when you think a bit about it or look upon it, you experience not peace and joy. Beautiful. Now, I want you to, as you keep it in your mind's eye, I want you to ask yourself this question. What do I want to learn from this? What is it I want to learn from this? Do I want to learn that I'm safe no matter what? Do I want to learn that I'm a body that cannot die? Do I want to learn that I'm connected to the eternal source of abundance no matter what? What is it I want to learn from this? Beautiful. And then whatever it is that you want to learn from this, now let's go ask our higher self to show us how to see this situation, relationship, event, or encounter through Spirit's eyes, through love's eyes. Spirit, show me how to see this in such a way that only miracles result. Beautiful. And as the Course says, the only thing missing in any situation is what you haven't given to it. So what is it that in this situation you're feeling deprived of? What is it that you're feeling this situation is taking from you or making you lose? And then now I want you to give to this situation. Whatever it is you thought it was taking from you, I want you to give it that, whether it's love or support or encouragement or answering a call for love. Give to this situation or relationship what you thought it was depriving you of. Remember the truth for them. Offer release from guilt to them. Remember they are not their bodies and cannot die for them. Remember they are entitled to miracles for them. Beautiful. And just notice how that feels to do this work that A Course in Miracles teaches us how to do. Notice how you feel. And know this too, that the universe and all of creation thanks you for your willingness to take your part in the great awakening, the healing of mankind. You are needed. You are important. The universe needs your teaching. The universe needs your learning. The world needs your learning and your teaching. And the world thanks you for your willingness to teach only love to it so that you can remember it for yourself. God Himself thanks you. Beautiful. And to that we say amen. All right. And I thank you. I thank you all for coming out today. Thank you very much. And I thank you guys for joining the Healing Circle. And if you feel so motivated to support this ministry, then share this on your social media platform. And I appreciate you all so much. See you next time. I see ya.
So I would be able to find this on YouTube.